Hello everyone and welcome back to more for the 2024 Stone Burner Open for Dune Imperium Uprising. I'm your host and commentator, the BlackShadow, and I welcome you to the semi-finals for the tournament. We started with over 150 players. We are down to just 16 remaining. They're going to be battling out for a spot in our live grand final being featured in a few days or so on the channel. Just a reminder of the format for the competition, the 16 players. You've got 4 matches here, and of course, only 4 spots available in the grand final. So the winners of all these matches will be playing off in that match for cash prize of $200 up top. The 4 players that finish second will go through to a playoff game instead, which will also be played live with a cash prize for the winner of that match as well. But we're going to look at semi-final D today, featuring JoMB, IWontBeCreative, Bobloblaw, and Elessar. We'll start off having a look at the journey for JoMB. Originally finishing second place to Group M to Ancient Slumber, who crashed out of the competition in the quarterfinals. I think it was a disappointing result for them. Joe has managed to be very resilient in the face of some tricky matches they've had to take on. Obviously a decent group stage, 16 points and 2 wins from the 4 games. But then it came through to the quarterfinals. Quarterfinal H specifically, a pretty brutal one against the likes of Greedy Grill and H, but managed to come on top with Princess Irulan. Pretty impressive going, especially in the might of some of the players that was facing there. Joe has admitted themselves that they did not think they would make a semi-final bracket. This is definitely the deepest run I think they've ever had in any of our competitions, and to make it through to a semi-final is really, really good going. It leaves them, however, in some pretty auspicious company here for this match, and it is going to be difficult work for them to make any further in this competition. But I think just to make it to the semi-finals, given the journey they've had to take, I think is a fantastic result. They'll be really happy at that. It's a bit of a free shot for them, this one, but maybe they can upset the apple cart just one more time and find a spot in our grand finals. It'd make for a good story. IWontBeCreative finished also in second place in their group. Group Q in this respect, losing only to Martel, who's also made the semi-final. Semi-final A, I believe it is. So a decent outing for Group Q in regards to the competition here. Creative has a pretty good record in competition play. This is not their first league run into a tournament, also making some runs back in the XIMO days. However, quarterfinal J was their path through a very, very closely fought game, but I would argue they were probably favourites going into it, winning the match as Muad'Dib, as you can see here, putting themselves into this semi-final position, and I think they'll be quietly thinking they have a very serious shot at making a tournament final here. I am curious to see who they're going to be looking to pick in this match, however. Notably, in the group stages, they picked Stevan Tuek 3 out of 4 games, which is very, very unusual, but it did serve them pretty well on the whole. But we'll have to see. Maybe it doesn't turn up. Also been pretty successful with the battle leaders too, so I think possibly a good shout to look to make their way to the final. Bobloblaw, also known as Hobbenrud, also finished in second place in their initial group here, although it was a very close tie against Brandon, losing out only on average points rating. It was a fairly solid group stage once again, 16 points from 2 games, not winning a lot of games that convincingly, however, generally pretty close affairs. And that is how it would prove in the quarterfinal games. A very, very close win against, you guessed it, Elessar, who also happens to feature in this semi-final game. Just by the pure luck of the draw, Elessar made it as one of the 2 fastest qualifiers in the second position and just happened to be drawn back into the same game. So Bob and Elessar get to go it again in the spot for a grand final. It is pretty amusing that this is how this has gone down. And you see, quarterfinal K was so razor thin as well. Really, really good stint by all played. And that does bring us to Elessar himself, who had to come through the wildcards in order to make their way through to the semi-final game. A not ideal finish in Group F, only getting 3rd place here, unfortunately going behind both Seven Spits and Harry Cheng, who I believe both of them are out of the competition now. So Elessar, the last remaining player from this group. And he's had to go through the works in order to make your way through to the semi-final. A pretty dominant performance in Wildcard F, and then the aforementioned game in quarterfinal K leads us to this moment. Again, the fact that them and Bobloblaw are fighting in the same match back to back is just a weird quirk of the draw. Sometimes this does happen, but really, really fascinating, all things being honest here, and it should make for a good game. Elessar has had noted success before in competitions, never gone all the way, however, and would very much like a spot in our grand finals, and would be I think a lot of folks are probably a fairly deserving winner, but this is a really tough game to get through. Alright then, so we get ourselves ready for the match here. As we get ourselves drafted out, and it is going to be Elessar in the blue seat who's going to be drafting in the first position. Means it will be Creative in yellow picking first here. Slight spoiler, this is my second setup. I may have set the first one up wrong. Anyway, so let's look at the opening row and stuff here. Opening contracts are pretty interesting. We've got the Water Highliner, as well as the Sardu Car Agent Recall. A couple of half-decent contracts here. Not easy to use them early. Obviously, both spots very heavy spice requirements, but people do like them. They're pretty popular. As for the Imperium row here, it's a fairly solid row. Nothing outrageous. Smuggler's Haven will probably take some interest for potential points generation. Honestly, good for putting spies down. It is Staban Tuek's absolute dream. Other than that, though, solid Fremen cards. Nothing too outrageous about them. We've got Branching Path, which is also good for the Benny Alliance, but of course, you have to get the Benny Alliance first, and that is going to prove a little bit challenging. As for the leaders here are the 7. We are missing Shaddam. That was Gurney just got taken there, and we're also missing Lady Jessica, I think it is as well. To be honest, I think a fairly decent row. Staban Tuek is going to be very popular here, I suspect, as well. Yeah, draft away, go for it. You know, a couple of faction access cards. Obviously, if you can get Smuggler's Haven, it'd be huge. But if you take Staban on first seat, someone legit might just take Haven in front of you. So you've got to be a little bit careful of that. Anyways, Creative taking Gurney in 4th, pretty standard. Muad'Dib in 3rd, also fairly popular. Muad'Dib has proved a very, very popular pick in the tournament. Put my teeth back in. Fader Alpha in 2nd for Joe. So it's up to Elessar here what he wants to do. The typical kind of free battle style leaders, you do see this a bit here. So what does Elessar want to do? You got Irulan, you got Shaddam, you got Staban. All 3 of them have potential use here. But it depends what you want to do. I always think Emperor Shaddam in first spot's a bit awkward. He has played a bit of Irulan, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it, and does go for Irulan indeed. So here we go then. Opening conflict is going to be the Mouse Skirmish for Solari. Mouse is in Irulan's hand, as well as Muad'Dib as well. Everyone's drawn okay-ish. Gurney might not be the happiest, honestly, but other than that, everyone will be fairly happy. Irulan Insta-Frem kits, as has become fairly standard. You know, just seems to be what everyone does. So we'll just see how it goes here. Fade with some faction access, no ring. Muad'Dib will be fairly happy. Are we going to see an early tactics from Fader Alpha for hooks? We do indeed. He's got the dagger. He'll trash it. And he'll hope to get to, like, maybe embase it. Or maybe even reveal early for, like, Smuggler's Haven here or something. You never know. We shall see. Nope, gonna trash that. Apparently, like, the meta is just now everyone trashes their Dune Desert plants before the daggers. I don't know. I've got nothing. It's beyond me. It's just a thing everyone seems to do, so... You got me, kids. Apparently, that's why everyone just seems to do now. And as I say, it's why I lose all of my matches that I play. Muad'Dib off to Arakin with his ring for the double draw, finding his 2nd dagger. He'll want to win this fight here. Not wanting to commit too much for it, though. Hoping to get it on the cheap. So, Gurney out with the first decision point here. Except contract looks fairly standard. And I'd expect to see that, and we do. Does not find a faction access or his ring. Little unfortunate here. He does pull Recon, though. So he might be going for early Spice Refinery here, potentially. We shall see. He'll kind of see what how the ground stands in regards to what troop deployment there's been. Irulan with her ring will allow her to either trash a card from hand or pull a 1-coster from the row. There isn't any. So just goes Assembly Hall. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Unfortunately, her Recon is in her hand, so she will not be able to ambush the Siege next round. That's a little bit unfortunate for Irulan. Not much you can do about that. We'll trash out the dagger, though, for Persuasion. Looking to try and pick up Smuggler's Haven here. What's Fate going to do? Is he going to play anything here? He might not play anything. Maybe he might go gather support, potentially. I could see that happening with his dagger. I don't think that's a bad move. I don't think he's going to go to a mining... He's not going to go Imperial Basin, I don't think. I think he'll just go gather support, build a couple of troops, looking to obviously blast it in with Fremkit and Siege next round and hope it's a pair for him. And that's what happens. Muad'Dib's got choice of factions of Seek Allies. Secrets looks fine. Deliver Supplies looks really good here. And that's where I'd be going, I think, most of the time. And does. And so it's up to Gurney. What does he want to do here? Could go Refinery, pick up some extra cash here. Or does he reveal early for the row? I think Refinery looks good. Do you put in both troops? It does give you the persuasion back because of Always Smiling. And also, he's going to force some ties here, and he does do so. So that's going to be a tie against Muad'Dib here. He knows he's ahead of Fade, and Muad'Dib could have whatever. But I think if you can force Muad'Dib to not win this, that's pretty decent. And he'll be hoping for a decent 5 cost to come off here. So here we go then. So Irulan with 4 persuasion. Does she Seek Ritual now, though? Or do you go for... You could go for Branching Path, or you reveal it all for Smugglers. Looks like they're going to go for... they're just going to go for Branching Path here, but they're not going to get to the Siege, however. Or do they even reveal it maybe for Bene Gesserit and they just jam it? No. Not to me. So they'll be taking Branching... Oh, no, they went Assembly Hall, didn't they? Of course, they've got the extra persuasion there. My apologies. Forgot about that. Free for Fade. Price of an object comes off. Nice card here. No one can get it, though. Make a Keeper looks a pretty natural choice here. And does. You'd expect him to put his spy on his ring to Espionage. I mean, no one gets there first. Muad'Dib with 4 and a couple of daggers. Not necessarily what Gurney wanted to see here. Branching will be taken. And that leaves off Desert Power here. And Fade can't... Gurney Halleck can't get either of them. So what does he want to do here? Take Malapistol. Could go maybe Thumper as well. There's a couple of options. Hidden Missive's out there. That hasn't proved very popular. I think Hidden Missive's okay, though. I feel like you should get something. And Corinth appears as well. Wow, 3 big 6 costers here. There's going to be a focus on that. You might see Muad'Dib occasionally go Research Station this round coming, by the way. So, it ties. We move on. Solari dotted around, as you can see. And here comes more. Siege of Arrakeen here. No matches, however. I think Muad'Dib is eyeing up some Research Station here. We shall see. Fade Ralpha has 6 cards for reasons I don't understand why. Should that pile should be there still, right? Or did you shuffle? Like, I don't know. Because you haven't shuffled yet, right? Yeah. Alright then, so Fade Ralph is off first. So weird stuff happened with his deck there. Does go Fremkit immediately, as you'd expect. And be looking to send his ring to Siege and put the spy on Bene Gesserit, you'd imagine. Pause Make a Keeper immediately, however. So we could go and generate some spice instead. I don't think he'll do that, though. Obviously, we're going in here. So this is the question for Muad'Dib. Is he going to eye up some Research Station maybe this round? Looking to get keep hold of 6 costs. There's also be a good combat to win as well. Arrakeen's popular. The 2 troops is nice. Some cash as well. Choices here. He kind of wants to go Desert Tactics, obviously, to start getting progress to the Fremen, but there's good cards out there. I think it might be worth bypassing this. Don't know what he's going to do. Could even go deliver supplies, Deep Desert, and then shipping Swordmaster next round. No, he's going to draw here. Pulls his dagger. That is, I don't think what he was looking for, but he'll do it that way. Might just bypass all, but the problem is what's he going to do here? Interesting. I think he is setting up for Research Station. I think it's coming. Gurney Halleck with all of the access, of course, now. He'll be going Desert Tactics. He'll have to trash the Dune out of his deck, you'd imagine, is what he'll do here. And then Irulan with 1 faction access card. What does she want to do with this? Only Dune as well. Is this the time to go towards espionage here? Get some spice, put some pressure on that. I think you feel like he should go to a combat space and put something in. No. They're going to go deliver supplies. They don't have access to the to research station, however. They have reshuffled, so it's possible they might have redrawn it. You see what Fade's going to do here. Siege seems obvious. I think you do it with your ring and put your spy somewhere, right? He could pay for a trash. He does have money in hand now. Should be noted. So he could go up and pay a Solari to trash a card. He might prefer that in this spot. I don't know. Could go either way about it. The spy is more standard. And I think like he's just going to want to put his spy on espionage here. It's just a fairly standard Fade thing to do. And it looks like that's what we are indeed going to see here. Yep. No change here. Unless you maybe go council because of the money. He's thinking, well, if I get second place here, that's what he's going to do. He goes up there instead, which I think is also okay. Because there's going to be money about here. So he thinks someone's probably going to get their Swordmaster fairly quick and he can get it in there. So this also makes, I think, reasonable sense. So, does he pull the trigger or does he go Assembly Hall? Or he goes Gather Support instead. Interesting. Obviously he's got for the 6 Persuasion. That's what he's after here. But also interesting that he decides not to pay for the water here. Could have got to Deep Desert early. Which I think is a little bit of a surprise. I think I would have been tempted to do that. But never mind. So Irulan can just limp it in here on a mining spot and just get some cash out of this as well. Gurney's got choice here. I don't think he'll use his rings. Surely he got Diplo, you use it. Maybe the Secrets or something. Secrets looks pretty solid. Might go for Deliver Supplies contract here, maybe. And does do that instead. I think both are okay. Like Council Faction bump comes off there. Pretty nice. Irulan might also go Assembly Hall for 6 Persuasion as well. But the thing is, everyone knows there's 6 Persuasion out there. Muad'Dib almost certainly has 6. Phaedra Alpha might occasionally have 6 here. But Muad'Dib, you'd imagine, is going to go... What is Muad'Dib? You'd expect him to go Desert Power. But limping in, 2 Spice and 3 Solari. Good resources to just limp in a troop here. It's a tricky call, this. It's guaranteed as well. Like, it's just guaranteed 2 or 3 Spice and 3 Solari for just limping a dude in. It's very close, this. I think if they were going to get guaranteed first crack at the row, sure. But the fact that Muad'Dib, at least, if not Phaedra Alpha as well, are going to get cracked ahead of you, it does go down in value, getting the 6 Persuasion here. So, it's tricky, this. I'll be honest, I think I'm limping in, personally. But I think this is also okay. Don't think they'll be too excited about that, though. So only 5 Persuasion for Fade. So you'll have to live with either Malar Pistol or Hidden Missive, or maybe get a Prepare away or 2. Does go for that. Cargo Runner off next. Can be cool, but I don't think he's going to see a ton of use here, sadly. So what does Muad'Dib go for? Desert Power is obvious, but he's got to get the hooks first. Might go Prices here, I think. I think he's going to go Price No Object for the initial Solari game and does. Peels off Dangerous Rhetoric for Gurney Halleck, who can buy it. He'll be very happy with that. Which peels off Guild Spy for Princess Irulan. Well, we've seen the destruction this can do in the quarterfinals. This card is absolutely just wrecked tables. And this is a good spot for Irulan as well, because Phaedra Alpha spent his spy somewhere else. Maybe Irulan will be wishing they went to a mining spot now. They could just slam up espionage here. The thing is, I don't think Irulan's got... I mean, you don't have to. Could go Corinth or Desert Power. But it's really hard to turn down Guild Spy here. It's such an absurd card. For its value as well. I think Irulan was planning Desert Power here. The problem is you can't really justify letting Guild Spy come off here for your opponents. It's a tough one. They are in a voice call. I'm sure they'll be chatting about it, but... Yeah, I mean, after seeing some of the things that Guild Spy did in the quarterfinals, and against all combat leaders, like, Phaedra Alpha does have some spy generation, but not very much. There's no other spies out there. No one's got spies for espionage here. Like, this is an absolute gold opportunity for Guild Spy just to cover up a load of faction spots and do damage. But he decides against it and goes Corinth. Because I need that Emperor card. And so Guild Spy is just going to sit there. Get Envoy out there by now, out there as well. And, well, this is going to be fascinating to see what's going to happen here. It is just lurking out there. Who is going to wander out for that first? Fade wins the combat. Gurney will get Swordmaster ready. We'll move on. Wow. That's insane, isn't it? All the money fights coming out here. Test the loyalty out now as well. Someone is going to have to go Hager Basin to stop Phaedra Alpha going there, surely. They cannot let him go worming on this fight. That would be completely absurd. Irulan might do it. Irulan might do... Oh, that might be why she turned down Guild Spy, because she's got Smuggler's Haven, perhaps. We'll see. Anyways, Wadib's up first. Branching Path in hand, but difficult to use here. Does he go... Surely he's got to go to one of these mining spots, you'd think. He gets money for it as well via the Harvest contract. Just depends if he wants to pay water or not. I expect he'll just go Imperial Basin. And does. So he's going to be trying to get himself to espionage here. He'll put in both troops now. Gurney's hand is pretty dire. He does not have to Swordmaster yet. He's in no danger. Well, he does have to now because Muad'Dib's picked up the cash. So he's forced to do it now. But this is not a good hand for Gurney. Nothing he can do here. Is he eyeing up potentially High Council early here? Thinking he can sneak himself to Spice Refinery? Guild Spy is warping people's plans here a little bit. Yeah, that's what's going on here. Irulan's got to go Hager Basin, surely, here, you'd think. It's just a straight point with Smuggler's Haven. And it denies Phaedra Alpha. Surely you cannot let Phaedra Alpha hook this. It's a match for him as well. Like, it seems completely absurd. He could literally just go Hager Basin, chuck in a worm and such, and might even reveal early for Guild Spy, try to win this, and just put all the spies on factions. And then what are you going to do? I can't see how this is good. Irulan's got Reach Agreement as well. She can put in both troops. She can always retreat if she wants to, or needs to, for the contracts. Every reason to go in here, surely. Yeah, and does make the move. I think this has got to be the move here. You can't let Phaedra Alpha go there. It's just completely preposterous. So what does Phaedra want to do here? He's got Diplo. He can generate Spice with Maker Keeper. He might play Maker Keeper first here. He might even go back to Siege, actually. To maybe even blow the wall or something here. Obviously, Irulan wanted to go Siege. I could see Maker Keeper to Siege Tubber here and blowing the wall potentially early. Muad'Dib's nowhere near it. And it gets him the Spice for Espionage, which is what he wants to go to here. I don't know if he'll blow the wall, but I think he will. It's risky, but it seems a decent spot to do it. No, he's going to take the troop and not commit himself just yet. This will all be going in. You'd imagine. Yep. No surprise there. Muad'Dib has got 6 Persuasion, but he's going to get to Espionage first. Keeping Phaedra Alpha away from that. Pulls his Diplo. It's not what he wanted to see. But that's the way it goes. And Gurney Halleck has virtually no moves here. Arakeen, I guess. But you're giving Fade Ralph money, which doesn't seem good. But he doesn't care. He wants his card draw. Try and dig himself out of some trouble here. What else you got? Accept contract with Thumper, and you've got Assembly Hall. That's about it. Sacking off both actions for Guild Spy seems absurd. Dune Desert. Not really the card he wanted to see here, but it was his last card coming off, so should have known. No need to quit anything here. So Irulan has got a weird spot here. 5 Persuasion in hand. She's got a Signet Ring, though, and you really feel like you should be using that. Kind of hurts to pass up a Irulan. Eyeing up maybe Accept Contract here. High Council bump. Could definitely see that happening here. No need to get involved with more conflict. Has no money, though. But Spice Refinery isn't offering a ton. She knows she's almost certainly not going... She's only going to get almost certainly just... well, she is going to get 3rd place here. She can't beat she can't beat Muad'Dib or anyone here. Goes contracting. Trying to draw a decent card. Wow. Well, that's 6 Persuasion. Irulan's in a bit of a weird spot here. She could decide not to trash anything and hold on for Desert Power, but decides to get rid of the Doom card. I think that's reasonable. I don't hate that. I think the High Council bump makes sense, but she has no cash so far. You have to find it. Vader Alpha kind of wants to reveal, but he's got his Diplo. Thinks he has to use it. Needs to get access to Deep Desert. So he will go for that. And he'll be hoping next conflict will be something he can chuck worms in at. He would love to see Spice Freighters come off. Muad'Dib with 5 will take Guild Spy. Now we're going to see Bob just completely shut up shop here as Muad'Dib. I think this might be the first time I've ever seen a Muad'Dib player get hold of Guild Spy. I don't think I've really ever seen this before, so don't really know how this is going to play out here. Gurney will go whole Assembly Hall, I imagine. And does. That's a nice card for later. Like a piece of that. Irulan with 5. Guild Envoy looks pretty decent. That's the one that lets you... It's a mandatory discard, however, Guild Envoy. But the faction access is pretty good. You can discard a spacing card, you get some draws. Does have some synergy with spacing with Smuggler's Haven here. And I imagine that's what they'll be looking at. Yeah, they do go for it. Might even occasionally go for Smuggler's Harvester because of the synergy here. But I think that would be a bit much. Goes for Prepare the Way instead. I think that's okay. Fade with 3. He might not buy anything here. I don't think Joe will. Goes for Unswerving. That is a surprising pick. I kind of get it, but I also think that's a bit... I don't know. Gurney with 5 and a Spice. Twice now been stranded on 5 Persuasion. We'll just go for a Prepare and call it a day, I think. Yep. So... Irulan does get to retreat for a contract here. Goes Cargo Runner. Alright, so they're committing themselves to getting these contracts done pretty early here. So what does Irulan take here? I assume just takes the Sado card contract, right? Does have some inherent synergy. People telling him to take his Spice. Harvest 4 does have potential use. Harvest plays really weirdly with Irulan because it does combine with Chroniclers here. So if you go to like Hagar Basin and trash a card and get 2 Spice for it, it does count for that. And they desperately need money, so they might well be eyeing up that move here. Anyways, so Joe wins. And we'll move on here. I think Fade Ralph will be fairly happy at the start. Along with some fun potential as well. Fade does have a spy to put down here. Where do you want to put this? People telling him block up faction spaces. Nope. He wants his Haga Basin spot. He's going to say, let Muad'Dib do it. Well, it's not his problem. Wow. Shadow contest. Wow, wow, wow. Well, the cards are the battles are coming out here for Fader Alpha. That is juicy. That is exactly what he wants to see here. It's pretty good for him. Gurney battling. But, you know, maybe not. But, I mean, you're still, you know, you've got the actions. It's not the worst. Fomba is a bit of a tricky card. Fomba doubles the bonus spice that builds up, not the base spice. I used to get that confused a bit, but that's Carry-All from the base game that does that. Fomba doubles the bonus spice. Making it probably worse, but it is also a cheaper card. More contracts for Gurney. Both Sardaukar contracts out there. He pauses diplomacy. That'll cheer him up maybe a little bit. Agent Recall, I guess? I don't think it's that likely Gurney's getting either of these off, truthfully. Look at these contracts. He's got both spacing and a Sardaukar one. It's pretty wild. Irulan's got Corinth City in hand. I expect her to just let it reveal to take 5 Solari for Swordmaster next round. So, diplomacy and something else coming here. I don't hate Irulan going deliver supplies here. And going for the getting shipping access. And they're looking to potentially pair up the Harvest contract here with their ring. For a trip to Haga Basin, generate 4 spice, 4 Solari, and then hit shipping. But they might see the immediate Solari contracts out there and go for that, which is what they do. Which I think is also reasonable. They might be going High Council here. They might be going High Council. That could be a move you're about to see here. Choir contract comes off now. So what does Fader Alpha want to do here? He's got full license. Although he's got the Spartan Haga Basin, I would expect him to go Deep Desert a lot here. Because Muad'Dib is kind of scary right now. You don't have to go there immediately, of course. I think he might go Siege again. I think Fader Alpha has got full reason to just keep slamming Siege here. Generate warm water, the troops, keep people away from it. Just kind of keep those hooks to yourself. Curious what Muad'Dib's going to do, though. So Muad'Dib's got Price No Object. Price, the way it works is that when you play it, you can pay X amount of Solari for any card into your hand here. That includes Spice Must Flows as well. Fade's going to go Swordmaster early and block Muad'Dib away from that. Wow. Well, now Muad'Dib might legit just play Price here. He keeps the Spy there as well, so he's just trying to slow him down here. This will be going to Espionage. He'll put a Spy down, but what is he going to do with this? Does he buy Spice Must Flow? Long the Fight is out there as well here. And it goes into your hand. He does go for Fighters. So 7 Solari paid for that. Makes sense given once he gets blocked. That seems the reasonable way to play it here. That's 8 Persuasion and 4 swords in his hand now. Third Spy spot will get blocked up here. And yeah, Muad'Dib looks like he's getting ready just a sharp shop here and might even go immediate High Council as well. Legitimately, I think he might just go straight to High Council here and just start taking these bumps. Sooner he gets the Bene Gesserit Alliance as well, sooner he gets Branching Path doing its work here. Gurney kits. And I honestly think Muad'Dib might do that. It's risky, given the Solari situation. But if Irulan doesn't go there, I think she will. I think there is a consideration to do it. Irulan does generate 5 Solari from Corinth, assuming that doesn't get played. Or you can pay the 5 Solari to get the High Council spot for you. Does make the block. Does indeed go for it. I had a feeling this was going to be the case. Irulan's playing Prepare the Way to do this, though? Why on earth would you do that? Why not play your dagger? I guess it maybe doesn't really matter. I don't know, a bit weird. There's no combat strength here. Strange one. Anyways. Fade with Deep Desert. He's going to win this pretty uncontested. And this is looking pretty dangerous for yellow and blue here. Fade finds his ring as well. What a draw. Muad'Dib is going to play along the fighters. Okay, so he gets to draw 3. Draw 1, discard 1, and trash 1. Signet Ring, Convincing, and Recon. So, he'll take Convincing, of course. Recon will be trashed, and the ring will be discarded. Doesn't need it right now. And that is Guild Spy number 1 activated. He pulled his Spy to do it, should be noted for the draw, and pulled Guild Spy. And gets an additional trash too here, and this is looking very dangerous. This is looking very, very dangerous here for this table. And he even gets a free 3rd place for his troubles as well. It's Guild Spy once again going to see someone through to a victory. It's looking ominous, this. Gurney just plays Cargo Runner, does not play Dangerous, feels he's got to get Siege Access here. Doesn't put the troop in. No point. So, Fade, or Irulan, I should say, sorry. Gets the 5 cash. 3 Persuasion. Oh my goodness, mate. Wow, it's just getting ridiculous, this. Peel Sardaukar is good, and that peels off Strike Fleet for Fade or Alpha here. But Fade has an action, in theory. Muad'Dib is almost certainly going to go for for Desert Power or Spiceless Flow here, so I think he can do that pretty safely. He will be trashing with his next action. He can kind of do whatever he wants here. I don't think he'd want to draw. Do you go Spicer Fight? Does go for the draw. Wow, I'm surprised to see Arakeen played here. Decides to draw before the trash, because they're just going to get rid of their dagger. Did not have to do that. Could have trashed first, but whatever. That gets him to 6. Desert Power, Strike Fleet are coming. Gurney Halleck will have the Persuasion, though. He gets 2 swords from his reveal, which will get him to 6 strength. So he will have 5 Persuasion. So Gurney Halleck's going to get Strike Fleet here. Fade's going to get Desert Power, and then we're going to kind of rock and roll from there. Puts in the troop just to make sure of it. I can understand why. So, Spiceless Flow number 1 from Muad'Dib. Been touching distance of the Benny Alliance. Not full value, but, you know, pulled his Spy at the Fremen just to give him maximum chance of pulling Guild Spy, which is a bit of a surprise. But he did. Gurney will take Strike Fleet, surely. I don't know where this Spy's going, though. He might put this on the Fremen. But he needs to hit studies. Let's set himself up to go towards the Spacing Guild a lot, though. But he thinks more immediately he needs to stop Muad'Dib from getting there, so... that's what he does. Should be noted as well with Price Object. The Acquiring Spice Must Flow does not count for Guild Spy. They are separate turns, so the two do not interact with each other. And Fade takes Desert Power, peeling off Public Spectacle here. There's lots of big cards out there now. Fade will win another fight here. Muad'Dib gets his spice on the house. Devour now for Gurney Halleck. Decent card. Couple of intrigues for Fade Alpha. Cunning found, pretty decent. Mercenaries also pretty decent for him. And we'll move on. We'll see how aggressively Muad'Dib goes after Guild Spy here. I mean, we did see it previously with a, whatever you want to call it, with a Saban player who basically just forgoed all of his abilities on his agent card, or his leader card, and just played Guild Spy and won. So, we shall see. Imperial Basin is the conflict. First, none fought to one for a while. The first one was the first mouse was the skirmish, and that got tied. Gurney Halleck yet to see a dagger come out. What in the... Alright, so just had to take a short break there. Yellow accidentally looked at the wrong conflict deck, trying to see what the previous performance was. So I've had to go and remake the conflict deck here, which was not what I intended to do, but, well, it is what it is. Also, that's why this thing down here exists now, so sorry about that. Anyway, so where the hell were we? Let's see. Irulan does go for the move as mentioned. Trashing Guild Envoy to do it, by the way, to get the Solari as well here, to pay, and they're going to do this instead to pay for the, for Smuggler's Favor here, which is interesting. So that gives them the Solari and the good stuff there. Trashing Guild Envoy to do it is probably not what they were hoping to do, but if it gets too important in their hands, it's kind of limited, so I don't hate the move. So let's try and get the table somewhere where you can kind of see what's going on here. That is... It's not the first time I've had to remake a conflict deck in a game I've covered, everyone. It's not the first time. Okay. I think we're ready to resume here, although the table looks now ski with. All my settings are all ruined. Terrible. That's good. So, back to Fade, who has not got a great hand here. I think he's going to play Cunning, and I imagine he'll pay the Spice to trash. He has to do the trash before... He has to pay the Spice before he does either the trashing or the drawing. So he'll get rid of his Recon now, because he's got, you know, he's got Maker Keeper. So just 11 cards in the deck, reasonably trim. Trying to look for some better options here. Muad'Dib has found price no object again, but he does also desperately need, you know, he could really do with a Swordmaster here. Although Irulan, well, Irulan's kind of weird here. Irulan, is she setting up for Swordmaster? You'd imagine so. She's got the money for it now. Pools is convincing, so not much more access. So Fade will continue drawing. He does get full value for this now. He gets the water and the spice. He has got 2 persuasion with both actions, so... Ton of action compression. 6, 7, 8 persuasion there. Does he ever go Assembly Hall here? Don't know. We'll see. Everyone wants a piece of Imperial Basin, naturally. No. Look at that. Muad'Dib is going all in on Guild Spy here. Absolutely all in on it. I think at this point you can basically ignore Unpredictable Foe. Look, he is completely just giving that up. And you can put Guild Spy's card right there. That is what he's going for here. That is just foregoes everything. Not even interested in Swordmaster here. Looking to draw and go High Council was the intention. And he is going to get High Council. He's going to at least get the Spiceless Flow. But no Guild Spy with it this time, however. Gurney's got a difficult hand here. Signet Ring, Recon, and Dagger. And that's it. It's a walled conflict, so no worms here. Unless he goes Siege first. But then he's just begging Fade Ralpha to go Haga Basin. Now, as we know, Fade can't get to Haga Basin. Gurney will also be a bit annoyed if had 5 conflicts and no daggers, but that happens sometimes. You know. If the game goes long enough, he will get a match eventually. He's got to make a decision here what he wants to do, and he's got to make a decision fairly promptly. No faction access, so it's Spice Refinery or Siege. Basically, is about all he's got. He's sure he's got to go Siege and reassess. He might even go for he might even go Research Station here, maybe once on a blue moon. Wants the water, of course, for future worms. Feels he's got to make sure Fade Ralpha doesn't come second here. JoMB and Martel also in the semi-finals mentioned earlier. Irulan will just go deliver supplies and pay the spice here. Just take a couple of points. Call it a day. So what does Fade want to do here? Espionage? Espionage doesn't sound bad here. Gives him a point. Allows him to redraw. Also means prepare the way is then active. For the draw, it requires 2 persuasion for the draw here. Imperium Rose also interesting. Wheels is there. Public Spectacle, of course. A lot of cheap cards for Irulan as well to play around with. Needs to decide what his priority is here. I think Espionage is a decent enough move. You might still get to Assembly Hall anyways. He's on 8 persuasion currently. He does have Unswerving Bond active as well, so he'll be able to deploy or retreat a troop. He's got the Fremen Bond with Make a Keeper already out in play. I think Espionage is an obvious move here. But I guess he could go Dutiful Service for the Spice Refinery double card draw. That's also okay. Is Fade Ralpha eyeing up some Imperial privilege here? Muad'Dib's not going to let the spices flow. Look at him just absolutely diving for Guild Spy. Misses it, however. He'll trash this for another intrigue. Sorry, and he gets 2 spices. Now he has the thing here. Pulls apart from Arrakis. Does not have the card draw available. Sure, he just puts the spy on Space and Guild and does. Pretty wild, this, isn't it? Pretty wild. Gurney does go Research Station. Feels there's not much else for him to do here. He needs the spice as well. Pulls his diplomacy off the draw. He'll be annoyed here, is creative. Try and move out here. Unfortunately, this stupid box in the way now, so... So Irulan will take Spectacle. Elessar just quietly accumulating points here on the side, keeping himself in touch. It's a good way to play Irulan, you know, just kind of pick up those points. The problem for Elessar, though, is that he's not really... He's accumulating points here, but he needs more. He needs an alliance somewhere, minimum. And he's going to need a Spice's Flow, and then he still needs another point from somewhere. And I don't know where that 10th point for Elessar is coming. He's got 2 friendships, getting to 7. He's not set up for any combat here. And 2 alliances looks very unlikely. So, he does, of course, have... he does... Oh, okay. He does have... you know, the Emperor card, the 6 Costa, whatever it's called. But he also needs money. He still doesn't have his Swordmaster, so he still needs some more cash. Corinth, that's the one. Fade will draw at Refinery. Just trying to find a Spiceless Flow here. He will draw 3 cards. 1 for Prepare. And 2 for Refinery. 5 Persuasion. Not bad odds of finding the Spiceless Flow, but there's a lot of cards. There's some cards you also wouldn't want to see. But he might feel he doesn't really have anything else to do here. That might be why he's going to go Assembly Hall, maybe, instead. But going Assembly Hall with Prepare the Way doesn't feel great. If you're going to do that, you might as well just use the dagger at that point, I think. But Elessar is revealed, and he knows if he doesn't play the dagger, he's getting second place here. So, I guess he can't use the dagger here. I guess he could use the dagger and just put the troop in with Unswerving instead, but he does go for the triple draw. So here we go. Can he find a Spiceless Flow? Needs 4 Persuasion. And that is 4 Persuasion. That is good enough. Desert Power is revealed. Oh, interesting. So Desert Power is revealed. Desert Power is... It's 2 Persuasion or Pale Water for a worm. Obviously, the worm's up, so it actually doesn't matter in this conflict. So Spiceless Flow found. Fade will be happy. Muad'Dib gets another one. Gets the money from Acquire as well, which pays for paying for with price later on. And it's all, you know, it's all looking pretty gnarly. This Muad'Dib is armed up for a fight as well. He might even go in this round if it's a match with Depart from Arrakis as well. Gurney just secrets, nothing else to do. Picks up another combat card. Impress now. Loaded on battle intrigues. Fade Rail for Spice Must Flow. Gurney's going to reveal for 5. And I imagine we'll take Truth Trance, which is in the row here. I expect that's what he'll take. I don't see him go for anything else. Rebel Supply is out there as well, which is okay. Has to be so. Fade Rail cannot put a worm in. The wall's up. This does not allow you to blow the wall, so it's the point. And again, I expect Gurney to... I don't see Fade Ralph ever putting this troop in. Wow! What was that move? Is he trying to tie yellow here? What? I don't know. I guess he feels he's trying to stop him getting the spice. That's a bit of a weird deployment. Yellow's like, okay, I guess. Yeah, that was a bit of a weird move. Don't know what that was about. Gurney is behind on points. And he's going to be relying on what... He has to win a tier 3 here. He's got no choice. But that was a bit strange. Anyways, so Gurney eventually wins it. Fade just kind of spins it out here. Yeah, a bit of a weird move, but whatever. It's only a troop. It's not the biggest deal, I guess. Oh boy. Oh boy. Look at Muad'Dib's hand. He has pulled both Spice and Slow cards with his Guild Spy. Wow. This could be interesting. Fade Ralph is first, though. And this alliance is up for grabs. There's 2 Spice at Hagar Basin. Fade Ralph has got to go Hagar Basin here, right? With Baker Keeper regenerating his water as well. Has to go Hagar Basin, surely, for the extra spice. I mean, he's thinking Deep Desert combat-wise. But surely you go for the bonus spice here. It does. But his hand is not helping him here. He might play Mercenaries. He might play Mercenaries right now. No, he's going to wait. Muad'Dib's going to have to go to the Fremen. He'll go Frem Kit, of course. So same again. 1 draw, 1 discard, 1 trash. Signet Ring, Branching Path, and Dune. So I suspect the Signet Ring will be passed up here and discarded. I assume he takes Branching Path into his hand, but I don't know. This isn't as obvious, actually. Dune will beat trash whatever happens. The question is he interested in going Swordmaster or not? It's as simple as that. Is he interested in going Swordmaster or High Council or not? We'll find out. Nope, he is not. He will take Branching. He is not interested at all here. I'm maybe a touch surprised. I think this would have been a good spot for High Council. He might actually have found his way into some fun and games here. I'm a little surprised at this. He would have had the redraw. He would have had 7 and a draw. He might even get back to a Spicer's Flow here against all odds. I'm not sure that was the right call, honestly. If he gets Spicer's Flow and a Friendship, that gets him to 9 points, by the way. If he got it with Guild Spy, that'd get him with the Emperor to 9. But he wouldn't be able to close the game out here. But Muad'Dib dangerously close to winning. What on earth does Gurney Hallett do here? He's pulled Strike Fleet. He's got Dangerous in hand. We've managed to go 6 conflicts, and we haven't found a dagger, which is highly unlikely. I think this is the first time I've ever commentated a game where we've gone 6 rounds and someone's initial symbol did not come from pairing. It's so hyper rare this happens. Creative will be feeling maybe a bit disgruntled at this point. He's behind as well. His game has not gone at all well. The pull Strike Fleet now is interesting. His deck's fairly small, but Gurney Hallett might talk himself into getting involved here. Feeling he's got little choice. Cargo Runner isn't even a draw. He's got no Contracts Blade. The problem is, Gurney might feel that to win this game, he's going to have to win basically every single conflict from now. And that might not even be that incorrect. His only spies at the Fremen. If he wins the fight with using Strike Fleet, he would be good. He'll be a bit nervous about Fade Ralph going Highliner here. He'll be a little uncomfortable about that. But I don't think you can worry about it as Gurney. I think you've kind of got to get stuck in here. I think Fremkit might be mandatory here. You might just have to go for it. With all the battle cards, no. Ask if it works on the flag base. Does not. It's just the bonus spice. Does not work for the flag, I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, I'm sure someone will tell me in the comment section. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Gurney does not want to... I mean, he doesn't have to go Fremkit yet. He might wait and kind of see what happens, but he is nervous about Fade Ralph here. Muad'Dib, it's hard to know exactly what he's going to do here. Yep. Gurney Hallett. His only access card is Chutron, so he just pulled. He's not found anything else. He's got some alright cards. I think you just got to bite the bullet here. And be prepared that you're going to have to go Fremkit here. It's a match... It's a battle you're going to need to win as well. And that might be what he's doing here. He might well be setting up for Desert Tactics here. Caught in a bit of a rough spot is Creative. He's not enjoying his life. But I don't think there's anything he can do here. I think he's going to just be forced into this. What does Irulan do? Free water. Deep Desert is just a point. Deep Desert would be one of the points that they're looking for. They've got Spectacle, remember, I believe. Is it them who got Spectacle? Not much else going on here. The problem is you go Deep Desert with Smuggler's Haven, you're fairly committed. You're pretty exhausted on resources. She could, in theory, go back to High Council. It does generate spice. But Irulan is going to feel they've got to get the Swordmaster surely here. Now, the question is, what does she do with her ring? She could take a 1-cost card into her hand, Weirding Woman and Smuggler's Officer both out there, or she could trash out of her hand and trash the Sardaukar Soldier, which I think is what they're going to do. It's why you took it. Yep. So 2 spice and an intrigue. It's not the one they wanted to see. It's not a good pull. That's not helping them right now. You do feel like the power is gravitating towards the top of the table here. Fade is going to generate water here. He'll probably just go Arakeen, I'd imagine, and just keep drawing. Might as well. Mercenaries is in hand. Does he play it now? Running out of deployment spots in the center of the map here. I don't think he wants to go Deep Desert right now. He might play Mercenaries now. No, he's still going to wait. It's not a match for Fade, this. But it is an alliance, and it's still very strong. Martin's going to have to play Guild Spy here, he thinks, yeah. I'm not entirely surprised about this. He plays it to... I didn't expect him to play it to there, though. Wow. He's going to cycle the Spiceless Flow. He's looking desperately for... He does get to draw a card and gets an intrigue for the space which it is. Pulls Price is No Object. Questionable Methods is also found. Goodness me. I'm surprised they didn't go to Dutiful for that. Didn't think they had much else of a choice there. I still think they should have taken the Signaling instead of branching. I thought that was a bit of a weird move. Gurney will play Rhetoric here. So he gets a bump. Emperor, maybe? Bene Gesserit, maybe? Bene Gesserit it is going to be. So this is the question. What is Gurney Hallett going to do with Strike Fleet? Does he play it or not? He's having some problem clicking that. There we go. Got there in the end. Irulan will be too nervous about Deep Desert and will just play it now, I imagine. And she'll assume she's probably getting to Refinery. I don't know. I mean, it's a bit weird, this, isn't it? Point to point. I don't think you can wait on this. You just got to take it while it's there. Irulan now does have enough spice as well in the back pocket for a shipping. Maybe to... shipping looks really good, actually. They could maybe ship towards the Emperor. And then the money pays for Corinth. So Irulan is kind of brute forcing these points. It's not pretty. But the problem is, I feel it's not going to be fast enough here. Hard to see how he gets to 10 before anyone else here. Fade Ralpha, I think, will play Mercenaries now and see what his intrigue's going to be before making a choice. Doesn't have to... You can obviously play it now and garrison them. There's no need to commit yourself to the move. Respin the intrigue as well. Make a better informed decision. Yep, that's what we'll see. Wadi will be very annoyed if they drew price on the object. It was the one card they didn't want to see. Oh boy. I'd say that was a good respin. Doesn't help him right now. Fade Ralpha might talk himself into research station here. Because now he doesn't need free water. He might research station here, thinking I can just generate a water somewhere. He'll go Imperial Basin first. I think he'll pull the Spy. No, he doesn't pull the Spy. Interesting. He has to lift an agent. He does have the option to re-spin his intrigue here, and the players will note that he is not going to do that. He is going to keep his intrigue. His ring allows him to, I surely put a Spy down, you would imagine. Can't see him trashing a card here. Surely you just spy up the Spacing Guild, right? With Diplo coming, you got the spice for it? Yeah, seems obvious. And Fader Alpha is looking very strong here for next round. Highline, unexpected allies, and just try and take it away from everyone here. Wadib cannot draw. Oh, he can draw with Depart from Arrakis here. And he's going to try and gamble. He's going to try and fluke a Spiceless Flow. He's got 7 Persuasion. Needs a 2 Persuasion card. Doesn't find it. Pulls his Diplo. Wrong card. He might not even pay for the troops here. He doesn't. Wild, isn't it? Muad'Dib, apart from Arrakis, doesn't pay for the troops. What a bizarre game this is. Well, Muad'Dib misses. So he'll have to go for Interstellar Trade here. That's a big blow for yellow, for green here. And here comes Gurney. He's going to have to pull the trigger. He's got no choice. Does he trash or does he draw? Or does he pay the water for the trash, basically? Doesn't have to lift the Spy from Desert Tactics if he doesn't want to. I imagine he will. And does. And Gurney Halleck, yeah, he had no choice here. He has to commit himself to the fight. He's too far behind. He's got to do something. Can't let Fade Ralph win this. Can obviously just barrel it in. He's got all these intrigues behind. But Gurney's going to have to win repeat fights here. I think his 6 troops is enough. Commits a 7th. Wow. It's because his garrison's heavy. That's why. And he's going to pick up an extra troop from the conflict as well. So he figures I might as well get stuck in here. Also, Fade has an action still. And he is terrified of Highliner here. He is terrified of a potential Highliner. Irulan can go Spice Refinery or Arakeen if she wants. Might as well go Refinery. You want the money, right? That pays for Corinth. Yeah, just a strange old match, this. Do you pay the spice for the cash? I don't think so. I think I just take the... I don't pay the spice. I think keeping shipping as a potential option is important here. You might need it. Now you can go Corinth, play Corinth, and even maybe return to High Council for spice if you need it in a pinch for Smuggler's Haven or something. What does Fade Ralph do here? Doesn't have to commit for this fight. But second place isn't doing a whole lot for him here. But he must be wary of the fact that Gurney's sitting there with 3 intrigues. Pulls his Diplo off the draw. Not what he wanted. Is Fade Ralph going to talk himself into this? He can't win the fight. What? Wow, he is going to go for it with... this is, wow, crazy. He's going to go for it because he's got unswerving loyalty. He figures he has to try and win this. This is only good news for green, really, this. Gurney will win this, however. Probably with Impress. 5 Persuasion. Might as well take Spectacle, I guess. Irulan with 4. Good Operation comes with 4. It's not a bad card for it. But it might be a bit slow. I don't know. Maybe it's not so good. Fade Ralph is sitting with 7. Yeah, just to prepare and calls it a day. Just kind of quietly playing their own game here, really, is Irulan. Not really interacting with the board. Just can't score fast enough. So Fade Ralpha goes for it. What does Gurney Hallett play here? Does he play Devour first? He doesn't get the extra swords, though. Impress is the 2 swords. He'd have to pick a free persuasion card. I think it's what he's looking at. Probably takes a prepare here. Fade even lifts the Spy. Look at this. Absolutely just barreling in. So now Gurney's going to have to play both. I can't see him playing Spice's Power. Massive commitment of forces here. And this, I said, this is only good for green, this. Bobloblaw is going to feel that he's probably got 1 foot and is potentially in the finals here. Especially when Gurney Hallett wins this fight. Joe commits so heavily to this fight here. I don't think this is a good call. It doesn't match him. It's an alliance that's a bit speculative anyways. Why not just gear up for tier 3 when you got unexpected allies? He thinks that he can just win it with Highline and just bulldoze it. Wild stuff, this. So, 4 swords will do the trick. Joe will not be able to retort here. It feels about as Pyrrhic of victories you could get. Nothing Joe can do. Chose probably the wrong time to commit here. I don't think Gurney Hallett makes that move without having some backup. But he is now somewhat spent for this fight. But Gurney's still sitting with 5 troops and potentially more firepower. It's Spice Refinery. Another mouse fight. Great for Muad'Dib, but doesn't pair red or yellow. It's just it's basically the perfect conflict. Muad'Dib will feel if he can just score 3 points here, he's through. He's got Guild Spy. He's got Interstellar Travel. Can't see him going for the win here. Research Station and then actually play Guild Spy to Sardaukar, perhaps? He's gonna go Emperor first. He has to go Sardaukar for the double draw, mind you. And he's gonna play it directly here, so he's just gonna do it this way and try and find his way to and brute force it to a Spicer's Flow here. Oh dear. He finds price in the object. That's his point. And instead of trade is his point with the Spacing Guild, surely. Intrigues all over the place. Spring, Inspire Roar. It's not going to matter. This could well be over. Someone has to take the alliance. Has to take one of Green's alliances now. And the only likely choice is going to be a Spacing Guild. But Irulan's not really in a spot to do anything about it. And unless red or yellow can outscore green here, it looks like Guild Spy is going to do it again. Gurney Hallett has somehow redrawn Strike Fleet. And he's pulled Spectacle as well. Yellow bemoaning no daggers. It happens. They still got a match out of it at the least, so, you know. But it has been funky. What does Gurney do here? He could highline, but he's got Spice's power is the problem. But he might be able to highline and go in with Thumper to Imperial Basin and get his Spice back. Gurney knows whatever he does, he has to win this fight. There's nothing he can do. Whatever this fight was to come out as, whether it's really good for him, you know, moderately good for him, whatever, he knows he has to win this fight. He's just got to work out what's the best way for him to win it. He knows that Fade Ralpha is almost certainly highlining. He knows Fade Ralpha is going to try and chuck Worms in if possible. I think all Gurney can really do is maximize his strengths. Fade's got spies on Highliner and Hager Basin. You've got no way of getting in the way of Siege. He might have a detonation intrigue anyways, you don't know. It's not likely, but he could have it. And all the while knowing that this is probably the last round as well. Knowing that Wardib is very likely, he's got very good chances here. If he's playing Sardaukar with Guild Spy, it's because Wardib thinks he can end the game right now. If he didn't think he could do it, he probably wouldn't make that move. Reminder, the winner of this match goes through to our grand final. Second place gets into the playoff match, which will also be broadcast live here on Hidden Assets. Dates of those will be circulated in the next few days. If they haven't already. Gurney not enjoying life here, but there's not a whole lot he can do. I think he just has to highline immediately. And then maybe look to play Thumper to Imperial Basin. Thumper to Imperial Basin for him is 4 Spice, by the way. But Spectacle and Strike Flick can't really be used. Wow, he goes Espionage instead. Because he wants to get the the spy off. What's going on here? Oh my god, Gurney Halleck is looking to go secrets here. Is Gurney Halleck looking to take this Bene Gesserit alliance? Oh my god. Gurney Halleck's going for Bene Gesserit alliance. He's going to try and take it from Wardib here. Wow. But it's going to be too slow. Oh, but Wardib needs 2 actions for instead of trade in price no object. He's got no Swordmaster. Gurney Halleck could definitely take this with secrets to Spectacle to secrets. Oh no, but he's talking himself into going Sardaukar for his contract. But he's pulled Truth Trance. He might still make a play for it. There's late drama here. Gurney Halleck is going to try and go Sardaukar with Spectacle, I think, and then try and get back to secrets with Truth Trance. I think that's what he's trying to do here. Or is he going to go Dutiful in Sardaukar so he can play Strike Fleet into a combat spot? Wow. Well, this is some line. Very speculative at best. You can't need a lot of things to go for you here. But he might feel he's so far behind, he's just got to roll some dice. Back to Irulan, mind you, who is in a bizarre spot here. What does she do in this situation? Very limited hand. Did not find Corinth. Can go secret / dutiful. Can go shipping after. Wardib's never going there. So Irulan can guarantee her 2 friendships. I think I prefer going secrets, mind you. Like, if Gurney Hallett was going to make a move on the Bene Gesserit, you'd expect him just to leave his spy there. How much are you willing to solicitate Yellow's moves here? I guess if it costs Green a point, then maybe, but this, if they're talking about it, it's all open and Green will be hearing everything they're saying. Wajib just needs to go Swordmaster with Inside a Trade. Oh, but if he plays Inside a Trade for Swordmaster, Wajib's going to Imperial Privilege. That's the move. Wajib's going Imperial Privilege instead. That's what's happening here. Because that way he keeps the 9 Solari for price of no object. Irulan does go secrets. Leverage is found. She's going to be pretty annoyed about that. It's not really found any good intrigues, truthfully, for her. But the other problem is that price of no objects is running out of spaces to go. There's only one place it can go, and that's Dutiful Service. And I guess Gurney Halleck's going to make the block here. He's going to have to play it now. Has he got enough persuasion to buy Spice Plus Flow? I don't think so. But he doesn't care. Oh my god, Steersman came off the row? What? No way! I didn't even see that! Unbelievable. When did that happen? Muad'Dib has got Guild Spy, Price of no Object, Inside Trade, Steersman, and Long Live the Fighters. When on earth did Steersman turn up? I didn't even see that come up in the middle card there. When did that happen? I assume it must have been off the last purchase from the Imperium row, but I've just... I don't know! Just complete blind spot there. Gurney's gonna try and make something happen here. He finds Chris Knife off Sardaukar. He's going back to the Bene Gesserit here. Imperium Politics also found. He gets the recall from Sardaukar, so he's going to go back to Espionage. He's going to try and keep this game going here. Which will work. But the problem is this is only good for Phaedra Alpha now. No one's getting involved in this combat here. And now Phaedra Alpha, remember, has got unexpected allies. But it's not a match for him. Huge drama. Muad'Dib is paying for no Swordmaster. He's going to get to 10 here, but this alliance is history, and he knows it. It's required a huge quantity of resources from multiple players here. This is giving Irulan the chance to catch up as well. This is exactly what she needed to give herself half a chance. Elessar needed something to happen by the other players. And just to worry about their own game and try and give himself a chance here. Corinth is coming. Smuggler's Haven is an option. Phaedra Alpha just needs money here. If Phaedra Alpha could somehow get to 12 Solari and win this fight, the game would be over because of worms. He'd be able to score all 4 points. If he went Spice Refinery... Oh, he can't go shipping, though. He doesn't have the access. So that's not an option to him. Can Fade win this and get a Spiceless Floats? What is he going to try? He feels he has to end the game now. Really hard to find Spiceless Flow here, though. But he found Diplomacy. Oh my god. And now Fade Ralpha is eyeing up just ending this game here. But he doesn't have the cash. He can't score the Solari. He doesn't have any way of generating money here. Even if he goes to Highliner at 7, with no match and no money, he can only score 2 points here. Spices Deep gets to 10 points, only temporarily. He knows the alliance is dead, probably. Gurney is forced to espionage. Wild game, this. Gurney Hallett looking for rapid mobilization. Unfortunately, it's the wrong deck. He has his spy. He can put down for Siege here. He can put down for Shrikefleet, I should say. He needs the Spice desperately for Spice's power. So it has to be here. Gurney Hallett feels he's got to try and do something here. Commendable effort from Creative to try and get everything done here, but it's so hard to win off this. But it's Spice's power is sitting there. 3 Spice for 6 swords. I think it has to go there with Shrikefleet. You put in 5 troops is 10. Daggers 11. Spice's power is 17. Is 17 strength enough to win this fight? Hard to know. Hard to know. The question is, can Vader Alpha get worms in? Here's Corinth for Irulan. She found it on her draw of Prepare, which is absolutely bonkers. She cannot get the Emperor point, though. She can't go to High Council for the Spice, but it's fine. Yeah, it's blocked up. Nothing you can do, so Imperial Privilege it has to be. Get another intrigue. Maybe you can find something to use with it. Not found a great intrigue. Distractions next, which is not that good for us still. Irulan has been battling with the intrigues drawn. Nothing great here. Needed the table to buy time for them in the house. Look, there's 4 points from cards in the deck. Wild stuff. Still only 3 friendships. Crazy set of scoring. What does Fade do here? Fade's going to... He has to highline. He's got so much spice. How do you not highline here? Or is Fade Ralpha... He does have 9 persuasion in hand if he doesn't take Desert Power as the hooks. Is Fade Ralpha going to greed this and go Spicer's Float and try and win the conflict here? But there's no point. If he's going to do it, he must go Highliner. Point to point. He can't score 4 points here. There's no way. Whatever he does, he gives up a point elsewhere. Where's this going? Is he eyeing up Imperial Privilege? He might be eyeing up Imperial Privilege here. Surely Fade Ralpha's going to Highliner here. He's just trying to work out, is there a way for him to score 4 points? If he goes to Spicer's Flow, he doesn't go Spacing Guild. If he goes Spacing Guild, he doesn't go Spice Refinery. If he goes Spice Refinery, he gives up the Spiceless Flow. I don't see any way for him to get 2 out of 3 here. He's going to try and make something happen off Imperial Privilege here. It's a bit of a... It's just a bit of a... It's a stall move. It's all this is, really. Still will not change the intrigue, of course. Means it's either endgame or something really good. There's Yellow quizzing what's going on here. Knows it's either an endgame, like maybe secure spice trade, or it's something really powerful. He's got Spice's power, so it can't be that. Not many other options left. He's sitting there with 2 water. I'd be suspicious. Gurney Halleck has to go for this and just hope he wins. He picked up Chris Knife, which, funny enough, is pairing his simple matching at endgame, which is hilarious, by the way. He hasn't been able to match it via cards, but at least he found the intrigue for it, so I guess the karma scale's been rebalanced. It's a really awkward spot for Gurney, but with a garrison of 9 troops, like, you've set yourself up for this. Like, how do you not go in? Worst come to worst, you get 2nd place. You've got buckets of troops still to go for next conflict. Even if you don't play Spice's power and you take the spice, it'll finish with like 6, 7 spice. Ah, but Diplomacy's been played, True Charm's been played. He's got nowhere to get to Highliner himself. But I don't see any way you don't make this move. I think this is mandatory. They have to go in here. You just kind of see what happens. If you win it, great. If you don't win it, so be it. It just kind of goes down as it goes down here. Irulan gets a spy down. Where does this go? I think this should go to shipping. I don't think she can get to... Oh, but she might think she needs to use Smuggler's Haven. I don't think she has any other way of getting to the Emperor, though. I don't think. If she had any way to get to the Emperor, then the Emperor's spy would be obvious. I still think I'd prefer going shipping, personally. I think. Not remembering exactly what's in Irulan's deck, and I don't really want to look. I'm sure Elessar have a better grasp of it than I do. Emperor or shipping seem the 2 most obvious places. Irulan's got a public spectacle, though, don't they? There's no alliance they can really make a punt for. Siege! Wow. Are they up research station next round, perhaps? Here comes the high line. This will all go in, surely. He doesn't have to put it all in. But I imagine he will. Does he pull the spy? I don't think so. I think I'd leave it there. It does. Yep. Still goes in. It's kind of wild that Muad'Dib is sitting there with 12 swords, by the way. Muad'Dib might even... Muad'Dib is sitting there with the Highliner contract as well. If he ever gets the Highliner... It's pretty wild. Oh, he doesn't have any spies to spring, admittedly, but still. So, nothing Gurney can do. He knows he's going to get a load of spice. You know, it's the only route he could realistically take. The way it goes down. He's got 4 to buy. I don't think I'd bother buying anything here. And Phaedra Alpha. Oh my god, this game is over. Hold on a second. Phaedra Alpha's got 9, hasn't he, still? Oh my god, it's over. Unexpected Allies is going to get him there. The respin at Imperial Privilege gave him the 9th Persuasion. And Unexpected Allies is going to win it. There seems to be 2 things in this game that win your matches. One is Guild Spy, and the other one is Unexpected Allies. And Gurney Halleck has unwittingly done the bidding of Phaedra Alpha. And that's the way it goes sometimes. You spend so much effort trying to stop one person from winning the match, you just end up making someone else win it instead. JoMB is through to the grand finals. What a spectacle this has been.
So how's the end games?
There aren't any.
Do I win then?
Somehow.
What?
I think you win.
What?
Yeah, congrats.
Going from the sneaky attack from first to last there. I felt like my deck was so... like I didn't have any good cards. It was like a lot of small things that somehow came together.
Yeah, it was better than mine, I think. Like my first 5 rounds, I did nothing. I was at 2 points.
Oh, and there was the...
I don't think...
I'm inclined to say you had a pretty decisive impact on this match at the end.
Yes.
I mean, I had to try, right? Like, I know I'm king making, but... I'm king making, but if I try for the combat, that's just 2 points as well. So I might as well get the point from the factions.
Yeah. It was rare that he was going to be able to get to 10. Like, he needed this.
He had Imperial Privilege got him there. He didn't have it until, like, it was pretty wild, yeah. And it was hard for him to get there. Also, Unexpected Allies found that, like, what, round 4 was always going to... There seems to be 2 things in this game that seem to be pretty decisive. One is Guild Spy and one is Unexpected Allies. And that's...
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
I thought on round 3, instead of going Sword Master, I should just do one action and then reveal for Guild Spy. But it sort of sucks because my deck was not very good.
It's like, you know, what do you do there? I mean, once blue doesn't take Guild Spy, it's just sitting out there. I understand that. I suppose the question then goes to why blue decided not to take it. I mean, Corinth seemed all right. You just didn't fancy Guild Spy, didn't think it made sense with what you were going to do?
I just didn't feel like playing with that today. wanted to have fun with these cards.
Oh dear, I just didn't feel like it. You know, don't want to get involved in that. I don't blame you, to be honest. It does feel like a bit sometimes. But yeah, like it certainly created this bizarre situation at the end. I mean, you're thinking about it. Muad'Dib's got like 5 of the best cards in the game in his deck. You know, between I didn't even see Steersman come off. Honestly, I don't not even know when that turned up. You got that as well. Like how you in branchings, so be it. But I mean, like with these 5 cards, it seems insane. But the problem is, yeah, I guess it's also a target. People have to try and almost kill their own game to stop you, and then unfortunately that tends to mean that whoever's lingering in second place just kind of makes it work from there. But what are you going to do, I guess?
Yeah, the path to win was a little too obvious, but I respect Yellow for the decisions they made. I think they were correct to try and stop me.
I mean, yeah, if I have another round, I still lose, I think, because my next hand is very bad. Oh, like, look at my next hand.
It's not great, admittedly, but yeah, no, I thought as well.
I mean,
I did think we were going to go extra round for a bit. Like, I didn't even realize immediately that Fade had found his way to Spice Must Flow with the dagger there. I didn't.
It was very close. I was like, oh, can I buy more money if I win the combat, or like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then it just barely came together.
Oh, you could have missed it too, right?
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of cards that
you had
missed.
5 minutes slow.
There was that.
Yeah.
Covert was coming as well, so I think it was a coin flip he even gets there on the draw.
I had to go for it.
No, sure. Well, congrats.
Thank you. What a game.
Yeah, well played. It was fun playing with you guys.
Good
GG.
luck in the finals.
Thank you.
So confirmation that JoMB will indeed be going through to the grand finals. I bet they weren't exactly expecting. Bob looked fixed on for it for a lot of the game here, but ultimately became such a big target that Yellow and Creative felt that he just had to try and just take the alliance and whatever happens sort of thing. Pretty brutal stuff, definitely. As Creative said, he knew he was almost certainly just king making in this situation, but there's not a whole lot they can really do about it. They have to try. And if Fade Ralph has a way to generate that 10th point with Unexpected Allies, that's just the way it goes down, and I don't think you can really feel that bad about it. I think Bob will be disappointed knowing they were so close to getting through, But ultimately, with just such a big target, ultimately they couldn't make it all the way through. And yeah, also as well, like, you know, never managed to get that Swordmaster, committing all their money down to buying the Spiceless Flows, had its own intrinsic problems at the end there, and that's just the way it goes down occasionally. So it was pretty wild, this match. A lot happened for sure, but it was definitely an interesting watch, no question about it. Well, regardless, I need to end the video here because I've got another semi-final to cast in about an hour or so, and I need to go get myself something to eat. So thank you much for watching. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you all in the next conflict.